Hey everybody, this is Jay from American Survival. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Today I'd like to welcome you to the American Survival Homestead. I'm going to walk through and show you a little bit of the flood damage on our driveway and some ideas that I've been thinking about to remedy the situation. Today we're up here at the entrance of our homestead. This is road that goes one way and road that goes out. Yes, you can see that there's a power pole here, but if you'll notice, there's no wires coming off the power pole there, and it runs right by our property going that way. There's no wires at all coming into our property, so yes, we are still off-grid. But anyways, this is a walkthrough down to the bottom of the driveway where we had our flooding issues. This is our view coming out of our homestead. And back when we were first working on the property, my dad and I built this gate here. This was out of scrap metal pieces from my homemade chainsaw sawmill. Nothing too fancy, just swings right there and hooks around that pole. And when it's closed, it's got a no, that's a private property sign there. Just old scrap pieces of pipe thrown together and made a gate out of it. Gotta love surveillance. Amazing what you can do with Wi-Fi and solar powered stuff nowadays. Trust me, we know when somebody comes around. Us living out here, it's really quiet. You can hear people coming down the gravel road. So we definitely hear them before we see them. But this is coming down into our property, and this is all downhill. In a way, there are some pros to that and there are cons to that. It's good because this whole back corner, it's like a really low lying area. So pretty much all the rainfall and everything, that it all runs off and it tapers, our direction. So that helps us pretty nice with the creek and the runoff. But when we get a lot of rain, it causes flooding. Our house is high enough where we don't never have to worry about it being flooded out. Not only that, it sits on 8-foot poles, log white oak poles, so I don't think it's going anywhere. It's sitting on solid rock, concreted. But as far as our driveway does get flooded out. So I'm going to have to come up with something different to try to stop the water from washing it out every time we get some really bad floods. And I was thinking, I've got some white oak logs laying around that we had to take out. That goes straight from the driveway, goes up the hill to the back side of our property. Creek's down there. And this is our driveway coming in. So you can see how everything pretty much slopes. I mean, the driveway is fairly level, so how you see the ground going up, and it's kind of hard to get a good perspective on land when you're watching videos or videoing landscape and stuff like that. Sometimes you just really have to be there to get the general grasp of how steep things are and to that effect. But here's some water that comes out of the ground constantly. It flows, and we got a channel dug down the side right there. But basically, we put rock underneath this whole bottom, and then close to the top we put a bunch of these long, they're not really logs, but they're 2, 3, 4 inch diameter long tree trunks or branches that were fairly straight. We laid them underneath to try to help hold the rock together, and then backfilled rock over the top of it. But right underneath here we had, well, the pipes that are on that trailer we had run underneath here, and that just wasn't enough to let the water flow go through properly. It would still want to flood everything out. So we went through and we dug this up, and I think this is like a 10 or a 12 inch pipe. I put a 10 or 12 inch pipe underneath there, and it still floods out. There's so much volume of water that comes through that just can't handle it. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking some white oak logs, laying them down longwise, and then ripping them the whole length. So I got 2 halves of the log, and then layer the logs longwise in here, and just dig that trench out and do away with the pipe so the water flows freely underneath it. And basically kind of like a bridge, but I'll dig part of this bank down, and on the other side part of the bank down, and lay the logs in, and then backfill up to the edges, and then pack rock around each log that I lay with the flat side facing up. So, and just go right across the whole thing. But I would kind of like this end to widen, because when you first come in, you either got to turn right or left. And with this log laying alongside and having to go around this, it makes it kind of a sharp corner. So I was thinking about widening it to about where that log is that way, and leaving this side just like it is. But just dig the middle up all the way so it's got a nice big trench. And the water can flow free. When we first moved up here on the property, this right here I had put in. This is where we had would fill all our water jugs. Usually after it rains, the water gets a little bit of a silt in it. But if you wait at least a day or so after the rain, it gives the water time to settle down. All the sediment and everything will filter out to the bottom, and the water flows real good and clear. But this is what we use for bathing and watering animals and doing dishes, sometimes washing some clothes. Came out of here. We don't drink this. I mean, we still do buy drinking water, but pretty much for all other uses, just what we usually use for water. Back before we had our water collection system on the house put in place. But when we have problems with the water collection system, on the house, we do have this for backup. So I'm not going to mess with any of this. This is our runoff that goes inside the house. And this actually worked out pretty good this time. I put rock in here before and it just washed it out. If it's not flowing too bad, I mean, most of the water, that right there channels it and goes underneath instead of flooding over this whole half of the driveway. So that's the big deal right there. Let me back up a minute and I'll explain it to you. This whole driveway, when we redone it last time, looked like this in through here. It was all nice and smooth gravel all the way to the other side where it starts to come up the hill. But all the water coming from down through here and coming up over the roadway, and before I put them rocks in place, it washed every bit of that out and exposed all this. All this was under rock. This was all buried all the way across. It took a whole dump truck load of gravel to go across from the other side over there all across here. And every bit of it washed out. See, all them rocks right there that are exposed, all those had gravel over it. And that stone that's in the ground, it was smooth over the top of it. There's the runoff going back to the creek. But yeah, this is the other side. So you can, I don't know, you can see kind of how level it was and how much it washed out. I can show you where my gravel went. Start from there, all down there. I'm gonna have to walk around this pile, but you can see it all in there. There's our campfire. Around the back side of here. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit there. And here, around there. 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 Oh yeah. There we go. Bingo, we hit jackpot. There's no telling how many 5-gallon bucket loads of gravel's right there. I know I've scooped it out of here 2-3 times and repaired the driveway. And yeah, there we go. There's a good angle. So I'm thinking we at least lost at least a good quarter of a dump truck load or better. It was bad the first time it got washed out. It was actually worse and I had repaired it. First time whole half of it was washed out. But this second time it done a number on it too. So, and right there, it all empties out into the creek in our front yard. But anyways, that's my ideas and thoughts. So I'll possibly be posting a video on redoing my driveway. Wanted to show you a little bit of the aftermath of the flood. So if you like this video and you want to watch more, then give us a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Got any ideas, questions, or comments for whatever reason, from a driveway to any type of off-grid living, just want to know something I might have an idea, might can help you, might not be able to help you. But feel free to leave them in the comments below. So until next time, y'all take care, be safe, and God bless. Thanks for watching.